The alchemical chamber was silent. Not the silence of peace, but the heavy, waiting silence of a tomb. Only Lin Wei's ragged breaths disturbed the air, thick with the scent of ozone and ancient herbs. Outside, faint azure light crawled over the gnarled bark of the spirit tree, its massive roots forming the very walls of this sacred space. Lin Wei sat cross-legged, his spine a pillar of iron, his fingers locked into the lotus mudra, a seal designed to calm the body before tearing it apart. On shelves carved from root wood, crystalline bottles pulsed with a soft internal light. Inside, spirit orchid petals drifted like motes of dust in a moonbeam. Vials of azure silkworm nectar gleamed like captured stars. He raised a steaming bowl. The concoction was black as night and smelled of better earth. Without hesitation, he swallowed it. A river of fire ignited in his throat, flooding his stomach and rushing into his veins. The system's voice echoed in his mind, cold and devoid of emotion. Herbal synergy optimal. Physical vessel increasing qi intake capacity by 12%. Warning, tissue strain exceeding 87%. Meridian collapse imminent. Lin Wei's jaw tightened, the muscles in his neck cording like steel wire. A low growl escaped his lips. Collapse is the birth of strength, not its death. Pain flared beneath his skin, 1,000 white-hot needles stabbing into every meridian. Qi, raw and untamed, burst forth like wild lightning. It didn't flow, it tore, carving new, agonizing paths through his arms and legs. His muscles writhed like snakes under his skin. His bones groaned, an audible creaking sound that spoke of imminent fracture. Lin Wei gritted his teeth, blood seeping from his bitten lip. Veins bulged on his forehead and arms, turning his skin into a terrifying roadmap of torment. He clenched his hands. His fists tightened until the knuckles cracked, a sound sharp as breaking glass. A wave of uncontrolled qi pulsed outward. A loose pebble on the chamber floor vibrated, then shattered into dust. This is the crucible, the forge of flesh and blood. His dantian, the core of his power, was no longer a calm sea. It was a maelstrom, a vortex of violent energy threatening to rip him apart from the inside. The pain was a roaring storm, but his will was a mountain, unmoving and unbreakable. In that moment, the ancient spirit tree outside seemed to sense his struggle. The azure light on its bark pulsed, a slow, steady beat matching the furious rhythm of his heart. The stone chamber dissolved. The scent of herbs and ozone vanished. He stood in a world of gray mist. Scarred pillars, remnants of a ruined mountaintop temple, rose around him like the bones of a dead god. An ancient, humming power saturated the air. A flickering hologram formed before him. It was an elder, his form woven from luminous threads of pure qi, his eyes holding the depth of an ancient star. Lin Wei lowered his head, a gesture of respect for power that dwarfed his own. Most cultivators, the elder began, his voice cold, yet stirring the very soul, are shackled by their spirit root. Born of fire, they walk the path of fire. Born of water, they are bound to the tides. Yours, he said, is unlike any I have seen in 10,000 years. Adaptive, Lin Wei answered, the single word an echo of his own deepest secret. A smirk touched the elder's lips. Exactly, a fluid vessel. The great Tao is not a straight line, it is an ever-changing river. To survive, you must flow, bend, shift, or be broken. Lin Wei's gaze sharpened, his focus absolute. Adaptability is survival. I will bend. I will not break. Good. The elder's form shimmered. The very nature of his qi shifted before Lin Wei's eyes. Lightning, a miniature storm of violet energy crackled from his fingertips. A moment later, it softened, the violent power fading into flickering red embers that danced with gentle heat. Watch carefully. An instinctive surge shot through Lin Wei. His own meridians pulsed with an unfamiliar energy, trying to mimic the elder's perfect control and failing miserably. The rhythm of his qi, once a chaotic torrent, now danced in an irregular but promising new pattern. This was not raw power. This was mastery. This was control over the very essence of form. Remember, the elder's voice faded as his form dissolved back into the mist. The weak fear change. You will learn to wield it as a weapon, or you will be consumed by it.
The training arena roared under a sun that bled across the horizon. Wind howled between towering cliffs, kicking up clouds of red dust. Ancient battle runes etched into the rock walls pulsed with a faint, dangerous light. A rival disciple, Zhao Kang, charged. A golden aura of late Haotian power surrounded him, exerting a pressure like a physical weight. "Show me your tricks, Lin Wei," he taunted, his voice dripping with contempt. "True strength is pure qi, unyielding and absolute." Lin Wei's voice was steady, a calm island in the storm of Zhao Kang's power. Strength lies in knowing when to bend, not when to break. Zhao Kang laughed, a booming sound of arrogance. He slammed his fists together, and the air cracked like thunder. He lunged. His first blow didn't even aim for Lin Wei, but for the ground at his feet. Stone shattered, sending shards flying like shrapnel. But Lin Wei was already gone. He moved like water, flowing around the storm of fists. He weaved between blows that left fissures in the arena floor. He dipped under attacks that sent gales of displaced air screaming past his ears. Each movement was precise, calculated. His fingers, hardened by endless training, jabbed like a serpent's fangs. A sharp strike to a wrist joint, a swift kick to the side of a knee. He didn't break the attack, he sapped its momentum. Then a feint. A flicker of azure qi pulsed from his left hand, drawing Zhao Kang's gaze. The rival's senses, overwhelmed by raw power, were deceived. He swung at the afterimage. "Try keeping up," Lin Wei breathed, using the opening to leap back, creating distance. The air around him compressed, then exploded. A shockwave of pure qi blasted outward with a deafening clap. Zhao Kang stumbled, his charge broken. Shock painted his face. He was far from defeated, but his arrogance was shattered. This was not a victory of brute force. This was the triumph of resilience, honed by pain and clarified by insight. Dawn broke over a silent mountaintop. The world held its breath, bathed in the soft light of a new day. Lin Wei sat cross-legged, the agony of the past day a fading memory. His bruises were a testament to his progress. His hands moved, fingers blurred, weaving signs too intricate for the naked eye, forming a complex seal just below his brow. The system's voice whispered, this time with a hint of cold approval. Insight point skill unlocked. Qi sensing plus 40%, reaction time minus 30%. His breathing slowed, syncing with the faint whisper of the wind. Between his brows, a pressure point throbbed with a new energy. Faint ripples of qi, invisible to the eye but profoundly clear to his mind, pulsed from his forehead. He tested it. He extended his senses, not with his eyes or ears, but with his qi. Li upon li away, at the base of the mountain, a whirlwind was forming. His eyes narrowed. He could perceive it all. The chaotic heart of the wind,
the patterns of destruction and creation within the vortex. Every strand of qi was tracked in perfect clarity. Qi is not just power, it is the echo of the Tao. Feel it and move with it. A soft smile, a rare sight, broke through his bruised mask. One step closer to true mastery. Pain, adaptation, strategy, insight. These were the 4 pillars of his cultivation. Lin Wei's spirit root whispered secrets of the great Tao, secrets only he could hear. The path was harsh, the world demanding, but he would not break. He would bend, and he would rise.